Even that used to be a thing. But yeah, wave clear, poke, sustain, and just shrine clearance.
Okay, so we are jumping into game 3. Hang on, what's gone on here?
Alright, so Stormstout Brewery with the first ban. Looks like they're going to... They're hovering the Sonya ban. So like, unless you can... So Sonya on this map, she heals off the shrine minions, clears them extremely efficiently. If you can't interrupt the spins, and especially if she has a good support from her team, like especially if there's Sonya like a Tassadar, it's not gonna kill that Sonya, and she'll just win eventually. Like unless you can walk her down.
Yes. Why has that happened then?
But they decide to ban out the Tassadar. Just an excellent enabling hero. And like works with heroes like Kerrigan, works especially well with Vawa. Even Godan to a degree. They're like banning out Tassadar just removes a lot of potential hyper carry drafts from the equation.
Yes. Yep.
This could be the Ragnaros ban. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh wait, oh yeah, Murky is still a hero. This is probably one of his better maps.
Sure, yeah, of course. Would
like,
be.
Because again, like you can split push with him in the early game when his team fight isn't as good. March of the Murlocs is brutal on the shrine. But this does mean that Ragnaros will be picked up by Stormstout Brewery.
Yeah, okay, so it's going to be their first chance to play with him in this matchup. Sorry, Revlo. Sorry, not Revlo.
Ragav.
In fact, Ob's being weird with me at the moment. Sorry, slightly distracted there. Team names were showing correctly on my side, and then for some reason the stream was seeing the wrong names. Right. Yeah, and I'm getting pings from everywhere. So, thank you, everyone. Should be sorted now.
Probably could be something like Malfurion ETC or Malfurion Varian again. Like just pick up the support, pick up the tank. Deny those options since alright, Malfurion, no so huge surprise.
Sorry, lost you for a second there.
Oh?
Hello, sorry, lost you for a second there.
Alright, from my end, it looks like you actually dropped from casters.
Yes, I did. Discord crashed. Right. I had to reload it.
Right. So yeah, Malfurion ETC, no huge surprise there. By picking up the Ragnaros, obviously Stormstout Brewery hasn't committed to any tank or support. So denying some of the best options from them, it's a good move type by Team Solid. It also shows nothing about their draft. They just like picked up the best tank and the best support there. But Varian is open, and this allows the Warbringer taunt in the Sulphurous combo. And Brightwing, that's actually interesting. Like maybe their support player is just. Did they run Brightwing game 1 as well? Maybe their support player is just most comfortable on Brightwing because as of right now, she's not really the best support. Like she's not bad by any means, but Rhaegar would complement the Shrine Queer. And Brightwing kind of struggles against one of the blow-up-oriented compositions. And Weeming has been banned out to deny the follow-up to the Variant Hunt. And looks like...
They're going to go with the Gul'dan, so restricting some of the rotation and wave clear.
Yeah, and Solid Swat has been playing a lot of Gul'dan. So that's gonna... so that might be also a little bit targeted. They do... And wave clear does need to be picked up by team. So it's probably gonna be the Tychus here. Then maybe... and probably some solo winner. Sonya is actually still on the board. I'm not sure if they're prepared to play that here. Yeah, I would expect a Tigers at least. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Jane as a steal. Just to deny more of the wombo. Trio and yeah, Trio Jane, alright. So probably not gonna be the Zeratul again. Like this but though if they don't, this is again like the same dynamic. If you don't pick up the Zeratul, you're out in Solid to take it. Their comp could run Zeratul here. But if they do pick up the Zeratul, then they run into issues still with the Trio, though it's not as bad here. Because like they could actually go into, because if your combo is avoiding the Sulphurous Smash, then you can actually deny the Sanctification through the combo itself.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, if they don't deny the combo, then like... Keotas? Oh... Not a fan of that.
No. Kel'Thas is pretty good for the Shrine Fair.
Not the Zeratul. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, the Tyrael Greymane is a very, very strong pairing at the moment.
I suppose it offers a lot more sustained damage than the Zeratul would have, but the composition on the side of Stormstout was very vulnerable to the wombo. But no, they still have a lot of dive potential, but and they have like reasonable responses to the variant blow up.
Yep.
But Sanctification is definitely on a much longer cooldown than any of that. So both sides definitely have ways to win this game. I think I would lean a bit towards Team Solid for this one. It's because they do have, like, Variant's early game is kind of awkward. They have a pick comp in the early game, but it seems to me that Team Solid has a better pick comp in the early game. In the late game, Greymane is acceptable Shrine Clear. Ragnaros is probably better, but Brightwing is decent anti-dive as well. Like both drafts are fine, but
yeah, they've both got reasonable comps certainly.
But if Greymane gets an effective dive, it can be extremely punishing for Stormstout Brewery.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we are into the game here. On the left, on Team Stormstout Brewery, we've got Hebe on the Brightwing, Frey on Varian. We've got Zephysaura on the Falstad, Snow on the Kel'Thas, and Velox on the Rag. Hello?
And on the right-hand side, we have Team Solid with Captain Raynor playing Greymane, still not Raynor. Hide took a 16 on the Trio, Aztec copy on the ETC, Sardonic on Malfurion, and Solid Swat on Jane.
Okay, so both teams posturing up for a 5v5 in the mid lane.
Looks like it, and Hide just scouting the bush out a little bit. Stormstout Brewery playing quite far back. Do like that with the level 1 variant, they don't really have good setups, you see. If they take this fight into the ETC Jane, they're probably gonna lose it. And Hide actually diving in, that's going to be quite a bit of damage going on to the Kel'Thas, but no kills yet. Ragnar is just going to rotate over to top lane. One thing to be said for the early game of Stormstout Brewery is that they have the stronger solo lane by far. Trio can't do much here.
But the rotation does seem to be so far in favour of Team Solid. A lot of damage going down on both sides here.
Yeah, Brightwing, as long as kills don't happen, Brightwing will be able to heal it back up eventually.
Absolutely. But slowly. Whereas I think Malf tends to get the healing, get people topped off quite a bit quicker. So rotation from Stormstout, getting a bit ragged here. Because they've got sort of broken up into pairs.
Yeah, they're getting a bit split here, but they need to clear mid first, and they can rotate out. SWAT actually shorting in the bush there, but Frey will be able to ward that off. That's gonna allow any power twice to happen, and the first shrine is spawning. So it's just actually Velox actually got massively chunked here in the top lane by the Tyrio.
Oh.
I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, I'm afraid I completely missed that. It's not what I'd expect to see.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, I can only imagine that Hide was getting a lot of free auto attacks in here.
And or minion wave was attacking Rag for a while.
Yeah. Velox did turn back around and did manage to force the heart out of Tyrio, but Falstad actually getting picked off in the mid lane as well.
Missed that one, sorry.
Not really what you want to see right before the objective spawns.
Well, yeah, I mean the objective has already spawned. Falstad's still
Yeah.
dead for another few seconds. He will be able to fly in.
Yeah.
And the teams are roughly evened on number of... Solid starting to take a bit of a lead here. Oh,
Yeah,
massive lockdown from the ETC. They're going for Brightwing. They do take him down. Lovely roots from the mount, locking down the Falstad.
That might actually get taken down as well.
The barrel roll wasn't quite enough to get him over the wall, and he will fall. So that's 2 for nothing now.
Yeah, and that's going to remove any chance of Stormstout actually defending this. They should just actually keep Ragnaros here to have the Molten Core for the defense and Falster for the soak top lane.
Do you get the pick off on the Varian as well?
I can't play up in that situation really.
No.
Like,
Has to be a bit more cautious than that.
Yeah, that's very unnecessary. That, but they're gonna do exactly what I said. Foster will soak the top lane. Meanwhile, Ragnaros will be here for the Molten Core.
Yep.
That should deny most of this push from happening. Like they're not gonna get anyone any further than the wall. The Molten Core is here now. Going to.
I mean, they could try and burn down the Molten Core.
Fighting under the Molten Core is
wow, that's
a bad idea
huge
because of these
swing.
stuns.
Yeah. Jaina taking a lot of damage.
Absolutely. Velox does get knocked out of Molten Core finally, but the fort is still fully alive. They're gonna get a bit of damage onto it, but nothing else.
Yeah. So
even though they started that defense as essentially a 3v4, it was still just a gate.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Molten Core obviously is pretty significant for that, and it's it's quite a long cooldown as well. So very strong opening from Team Solid here. 4 kills to none so far in the early game. And as we already talked about, they were and are still to an extent looking pretty dominant on that rotation.
Yeah. Captain Raynor actually almost managed to take out Falstad here. And it looks like Team Solid are just gonna invade the camp. Since 2 people are in the top lane for Stormstout Brewery, they can't really stop this from happening. So while we have a bit of a lull here, looking at talents, we have Manic Pixie from the Brightwing.
Team Solid doing a good job of getting the mercenaries to kill off that healing well. So going to get that cleared out. Jaina taking some pressure from Falstad. Falstad is rather deep here.
Yeah, he actually got cleansed, but kept going forward, and then got
the
rooted
roots managed to get land and did get him finished off. So
yeah,
it's another kill.
That was an interesting feed.
Yes, that was the classic bloodlust feed there. I think was Jaina is low. I'm gonna
heavy
kill her.
rotation from Team Solid onto the top lane. That should be Ragnaros going down. Brightwing barely manages to save himself. Hide actually going into the fort.
That's gonna be a mistake, I think. Yeah, that is.
He doesn't even have the even in feed, so
that is a classic Tyrael feed there. Dived straight over the wall.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I think there's a bit of bloodlust, a bit of the red mist going on both sides. To be fair.
Yeah, but that means that Stormstout Brewery will be able to take better position on the shrine. They're gonna get quite a bit of free minion clear while Tyrio makes his way back, and as the copy actually getting stun locked here in the lane, but will be able to get out with some roots from Sardonic.
And
Frey actually flanking in deep.
Ooh.
That's onto Captain Raynor, but he'll take more damage. He'll take a lot of damage from his level. Solid Sword actually also got massively chunked there.
Yeah,
10
that
has
was
been reached.
both of them falling pretty low, but they do now have their 10s, and the other team do not at this stage.
But
They are now locking them in as well.
yeah, and that's
so it is 10v10.
and Cleanse is down for Sardonic. So
And Solid is still on very low HP. The rest of the team has been healed up.
once that combo comes in, there's not gonna be a lot of response on the side of Team Solid.
There's
Frey
the
just
Phoenix,
goes for it.
there's the stun, no taunt, and there's the Sanct
Sank
coming
down
out.
though. Frey is very split now, but he
yeah.
has a massive amount of hit points.
And
being
he
a level 10
used
variant.
that parry to survive the Grey main attacks. Will be able to pull back.
That's
Big
raw
ring
Ring of
frost,
Frost into the mosh
and
pit.
that is
But
2 for 1?
But,
No, 1 for 1. Frey's still
first
not
smash
quite
interrupted.
falling. And Tyrael gets taunted but does survive.
and actually Ragnaros secures the Punisher and is now chasing Solid Sword. He's in a 1v3 though, so this might not have been the best plan ever.
That
and
is a
he
dead
will-
rag.
But Punisher did go over to Stormstout Brewery.
Yeah, and it is an arcane Punisher, so I mean, you know, can't.
Unfortunately,
Dismiss
no
that.
one on Stormstar Brewery is in any position to push with this, so this is pretty much a free clear. It won't
Yeah.
even take out the gate.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't do, certainly.
At least Foster will get a bit of free soak in the bot lane, assuming that he backs off in time and doesn't get picked off by the rotation. It's just as copy though, he won't be able to get the kill on his own.
No, indeed. That was him finishing his prog rock, so we've got that quest completed. The incendiary elixir for Greymane is well on its way. Convection still not quite finished for the Kalthas.
Has he died yet?
13
No,
stacks.
he has
No, no deaths yet. But only 13 stacks picked up in the 9 minutes we've had so far. So needs to try and get that finished
not.
off.
It's not a huge amount. Looks like Frey is sharking around this bruiser camp. Gonna make sure that looks like they want to prevent that, but so it's nowhere near that. They're just gonna take the camps in the bottom.
Yeah.
In the bottom half of the map. And both sides seems to be like bush ganking and like trying to look for each other's rotations. Frey will scout this out here in the mid.
So
Eventually Solid will reach 13 though.
yeah, we've got a slight
Power
advantage on the 13. It's possible that the shrine will pop up while Team Solid have 13 and Stormstout don't.
Ragnaros actually getting rotated on. That's just Tyrael and Greymane though. Shouldn't be enough damage to take him out. He does go behind the safety of his gate. Brightwing actually burned his Z. Probably unnecessary there.
Yeah. Does mean that the 3-man now from Stormstout in the bottom half of the map is a little bit more vulnerable. We do see an attempt to make a play on that.
Frey
I like this a lot.
Frey's in a very good position. He's on an island on his own.
He was looking at trying to pick up the Merc camp, but got
Yeah.
rotated onto, and that will be a kill. And again, the shrine is popping. Level 13 talent tier locked in for. Stormstout are going to have the level 13s by the time the shrine's up as well.
Yeah,
We do have
Brightwing will
Merc
be able to
pressure
soak the
from
top lane.
Team Solid, and Varian's still down for another 5 seconds. So Brightwing sensibly staying up top to try and get some value from the global.
Varian coming in now. I'm not sure if Stormstar Brewery will be here in time to properly contest the shrine. They will need to.
Jaina doing a
bottom
pretty
camp.
risky Merc camp steal in the bot lane there. Got
Looks
away
like
with
everyone for Stormstar is easier now, but they can't get this camp. They can't get this Punisher anymore. Just
No.
too much of an advantage for Team Solid.
it. So that is the next Punisher, Mortar Punisher going over.
But thankfully, Molten Core will be available, assuming as the copy actually flanking very deep. They want to deny this Molten Core, but will not be
Too
able
late to do so.
And Sardonic getting stunned out. They're quite split here. As the copy actually in some trouble here. Sank will be popped. And that was
Sank will keep them safe.
and ultimately they they don't get anything out of the Ragnaros, and the fort will go down pretty much for free. Well,
Yeah.
sanctification was burned to make sure as the copy doesn't end. That's Brightwing gonna be falling down. Ring was
And
also used, didn't do anything.
ring was used. Yeah.
So
So
going in very aggressively. Frey actually
getting
falling quite
exploded.
low as well and does get taken out.
Yeah.
Punisher finally falling down, but they might be able to get this keep still. Like, that's both Falstead and Ragnaros very low. And Tyrio dives in for the kill onto the Falstead. That's gonna be keep at least.
Yeah, that's
Don't think
actually
they can do much
still
more.
2 men dead. No, I mean they could have attempted a core. They are 16 versus 13, but it would have been a little bit dodgy. Now, I do just want to highlight, we're still only got 16 convection stacks for the KT. Now, getting to that 20 stack point is a huge damage spike for him there, and really needs to be trying to get that finished off. Seems to be having trouble getting those flame strikes to land, even with
Yeah.
the sort of lockdown of Avarian there. Not quite sure why that would be.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to get a whole lot of effective combos. I'm not sure I've seen Warbringer Taunt so for us went once. So
No.
they seem to be be having some difficulties being on the same page regarding their initiations with their backline.
Yeah.
But again deep rotations coming in from Team Solid. They're gonna take this camp. Just bullying the map with their 16 tier advantage.
Yeah, and rightly so. I mean, it's the thing that they should be doing to try and capitalize on that edge that they've got. Rotating back into mid. I'm not going to actually try and aggressively dive this fort. Well, maybe they are actually. Maybe they're just waiting for the minion wave. Now we do have all 5 members of Team Solid here.
It looks like they want to get this fort. They should.
Molten
Ragnaros
core
probably-
being used.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't know
if he
about
didn't
that.
use it, then if he didn't use it, the fort would have gone down.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's a resource that they won't be able to use on defending the Punisher.
Yep. Although, I mean, I guess maybe they're thinking if they can get their 16s locked in, they might be able to contest the Punisher.
And definitely they do. They should actually be able to contest. Like, they're gonna get the camp now, and Foster will be able to soak. If they immediately rotate, that's gonna be about 20 Shrine Minions locked in.
Yeah, they need
Yeah,
to
16
aggressively go for a fight.
Yeah, they need to go in right now.
Yep. Otherwise, they are
Right
going to be
now.
too late.
This is all. They're already wasting too much time.
Yeah, 31 already.
They need to pretty much combo out immediately. Just go on someone. Like, so even the Tyrio is a reasonable target to go on. They've taken temporary control of the shrine, but with
It's
the
not going to
poke,
help.
yeah,
37
Like, what do you mean?
Guardians, 38. That is going to be the Punisher for Team Solid.
Yeah, they were not able to. They weren't decisive enough there, and they really needed to get the initiation in immediately, or that was just gonna. It's not gonna accomplish anything. That's the copy again, sharking around the back. Gonna look to follow up onto the Punisher. Nice cleanse though, but
that is stacks completed for KT. Just to point that out.
And Ring of Frost again doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, the rings haven't really. I mean, they don't have any setup for it, so I'm not super surprised. But they haven't really been getting any value.
Punisher getting baited far into the top, so
will deny the ability to kill the keep, certainly.
And right now, Stormstout has the opportunity to make something happen here. That's but they're just creating a wave. They didn't really force. I actually would have liked to see a gust initiation there.
Yeah, they didn't have Molten Core up. If they'd had Molten Core up, I'd completely agree.
The thing is, Ring was down, and
Sure.
And I believe Quenz was down as well. So
Right.
there were a lot of and that was 16. So there were a lot of tools there for Stormstout to win that fight if they chose to force it. And they kind of needed to make something happen. They lost 2 forts taken, and nothing has been taken for Team Solid. They can actually feasibly turtle to 20 now.
Yeah, I mean, 2 forts on a
might be able
keep, no less.
Yeah, they might be able to get it before before the next shrine even spawns.
Yeah, Maybe not. I think it depends on how long it lasts, or how long it is before it spawns. They're not quite 19 yet, so I think they may be not quite 20 by the time the shrine spawns, but we'll see. They're certainly picking up mercs all over the map, getting pressure onto the lanes.
Yeah, just forcing Stormstout Brewery to keep clearing the lanes while they
to
paint
react
the map.
rather than to act.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just paint the map while soaking the 20.
Now we do have Seasoned Marksman pretty close to finished on the side of Falstad, 37 out of 40 there. So that'll be a nice benefit for him when they get that completed.
Looks like Team Solid are actually gonna look for this fort to try to get closer to 20. They want to be 20 for the shrine. But if they had globals, this would be much easier. But it looks like they're still rotating.
Yeah, I wondered
got
whether
half
maybe
level
they
from
would
taking out that gate.
decline to actually contest the shrine when they're not quite 20. Because they could afford to let it go over. They've still got a fort.
As the copy actually taking a huge amount of chunk there, but Frey
so is Frey.
But the ring hits nothing. But that was actually Emerald Wind and Gust overlapping quite a bit. This will be Stormstout Brewery taking control of the shrine for now, but 20 is very close for Team Solid. Will they be able to reach them?
And the ults are still in favour of Team Solid at this point. Tyrael going in, gets locked down, but Sanct's going to come out.
Completely isolated here and will be taken out.
Smash, not going to do anything.
So, yeah, again, it wasn't comboed with the Varian. So
no.
And
Varian getting trapped off by the Holy Ground.
Yeah,
very nice play by the Tyrael there. That's going to be another kill. So that's 2 for nothing.
And this is going to be a Punisher going over to Team Solid. It's in the lane where there is no keep.
Yep. So this is a win condition potentially.
Yeah, this should be game. There won't even Ragnaros.
ETC going for the old 1v3.
Yeah.
Will pull back. It's going to be fine.
So Ragnaros won't even be available in time. Oh, maybe just barely in time.
He will be available in time to defend the core. He probably won't be able to get out to cast a Molten Core on the keep in the bottom.
He can cast it on mid. That might be good enough.
That might work. That might work.
Yeah, looks like
where
he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
He can't save mid, but he can use the damage zone. And Punisher actually getting baited into mid. Meanwhile, Solids are taking quite a bit of damage here. But
and they're going hard for core, but they're taking huge amounts of AoE.
But they're dying.
That is 3 down in exchange for the KT, and we've got Varian still chasing on Solid Sloth and Hide there, but they're going to get away.
Some core damage will go down, but this will not be game. The Ragnaros Molten Core enough to defend.
Yeah, so they get about 35%, 36% damage on the core there, but not going to be enough to end the game for them. And they are down 3 members for another 30 seconds. So I'd like to see Stormstout try and make a move, get a play here.
Yeah, they do need to get something done here. If they continue to play passively, they really.
If they get this Jaina though, that would be
like Solid Sloth is.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
He camped out.
That was fantastic. Solid Sloth literally did every point of damage on those Macs, and Varian walked in and went, "Oh, thanks."
They're gonna get some damage onto the mid, like onto the gate here. But this was fairly weak capitalization. They pretty much just took their own merc camps.
Yeah, agreed.
They're still in a position where they're down a keep. They've actually taken core damage. Like they probably need to win at least 2 team fights. Maybe if the next Punisher spawns top lane, and they decide to win the fight, they can end off that. But
maybe
if it spawns mid, then that's not a win condition.
No, not at all.
So So it's still on Stormstout Brewery to make things happen. That's gonna be taunt on, but Quenz comes out, and Sulfurous Smash still burned even though it was Quenz. So
Yeah, that Sulfurous Smash was kind of late.
yeah, like they don't seem to be on the same page with regards to those initiations. And
No, I
is
wonder.
now going in.
Oh, that's a
That's gonna be
huge
mosh
three-man mosh,
but
but Gus does cancel it.
But
KT
Keltas
just
is
gets
in the middle of
deleted.
everyone and dies immediately. Ragnarok's also in a lot of trouble. Might get taken down by Captain Raynor here.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like
Actually,
Greymane actually is going to
yeah,
fall.
Got taunted by the Variant, but the Variant is very
did that.
Variant is very isolated here. There's a really no. Actually, there's still the fourth. Is Emerald Wind available? It is, but it gets cancelled by the slide. Polymorph coming down. They may be able to. Stormstout may be able to turn this Molten Core going down. Will Aztec be able to get out in time? Sulfurous isn't available though, but that's gonna be Warbringer and Taunt, and as will go down.
Wow, there's some clowning going on.
And meanwhile, in the top,
here.
and meanwhile, the Shrine has spawned top. The Mercs are pushing the top lane.
Oh my goodness, the aggressive fly from the Falstad to take the Jaina out.
And
could this
and
be? Could this be our upset?
Heavy is defending bottom. They've taken so much. They've actually taken core damage, but they do have the global to deal with. They're actually still chasing Ragnarok's queering the shrine. Looks like they're gonna actually take out this
keep. They're gonna get it.
The Team Solid doesn't have it. This Punisher is going to be even stronger than the last one, and Team Solid doesn't have the same defense tools.
Nope.
ETC is still down, and so is Jaina. I don't see a way for them.
Jaina might not be up. ETC will definitely be up before.
Yeah, but like they, but they won't be. But this Punisher is 100% going over to Stormstout Brewery.
For sure. Yes, absolutely.
And
this could be game, you know. This could be the comeback we were looking for.
It could be. Team Solid is
They're going for the backdoor. Yeah, I like that too.
They have to. But
40%
Jaina is dead.
I mean, they don't need the Jaina for it. They need the Greymane is mostly what they need.
But Gust.
Oh, Brightwing's going to see it. Brightwing's going to see it. And we'll get a bit of a delay with the Emerald Wind.
And they're not going to go for it. But that's so many
that
backs.
That forces the back. That forces the
they didn't.
Back.
Oh, that's 5-man back. That's gonna stop them from ending.
Yep.
And they're still sharking around, but no, they finally
very
back
smart
up.
Play by Team Solid there. Very smart.
If Stormstout Brewery had not backed, they win this game.
Yes.
They would have 100% won the game if they didn't make those backs.
I mean, if they didn't back, then Team Solid didn't back, and Team Solid won the race, right?
I don't think they even saw. I don't think Team Solid even saw the backs though.
Like, you think they just were planning? It was just a feint anyway.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Like, I'm fairly sure they didn't see that. And I don't think they saw.
I felt like Team Solid saw the backs from Stormstout, and that's why they backed. But I might be wrong. So we do have
like only 2 people. But this game is. So now the thing is, now this game is again favored for Team Solid because the next Punisher will spawn either bottom or mid.
Yes.
So it's gonna be in a lane where Stormstout Brewery doesn't have a clear win condition. But looks like Stormstout Brewery are looking for the invade here.
I mean, that being said, a one-team fight is now a win condition for Stormstout Brewery.
Definitely,
because they've got an open core.
But that's gonna be the camp stall, and as the copy wasn't there, so Team Solid wisely backed off instead of risking the kills for that camp. But that enables Stormstout to just paint the map right now. I would like to see them now rotate bottom and make sure they get that fourth when Team Solid shows to defend that camp, because if that fort still stands, if the Punisher happens to spawn bot, that's going to be extremely low value for.
Not just that, but I mean, Team Solid still have the
so it's mid. This is essentially the neutral result.
Yep.
the mid gate is down for Stormstout Brewery, so this is it's a bit the worse for them. But it's better than bottom lane, and they have taken out the fort here as well. So neither team has a well on this lane. And actually, they're they're still defending the camp on the push on the top lane.
Yeah, another 5 seconds before this shrine is actually active.
Meanwhile, Stormstout are taking position here. Bottom will push eventually, but it won't do so yet. So this is already a decent lead in minions for Stormstout Brewery. They are, but
Team Solid starting to take over the shrine here.
Yeah, they've equalized the minion count now. Phoenix coming in, and Ragnaros and Keltas are getting quite a bit of clearance here, but that's actually Blizzard going down as well.
A lot of damage coming down from KT.
Frey going in, but he doesn't have his backup here, and that's actually a raw ring doing a lot of damage, but the Brightwing will be able to disengage that situation.
Yeah, KT did get caught in the ring, but didn't fall.
They're looking like a one Punisher 14 solid. Raw so for a smash without a
on to the Jaina, and the Falstad will finish that kill off. And Greymane going down to the Varian as well.
But the Punisher is picked up by Team Solid.
Yeah.
And bottom, I don't think they can end here. And that's,
well, they look like they might kill Tyrael here.
Trying to kill Tyrael under the Punisher.
Yeah, they do get the Tyrael kill.
Look at this catapult. Look at these catapults. They're actually almost killing Core. Frey will actually get taken down. He got baited quite a bit. Brightwing does come in for the save.
Keltas
died to John Cena.
Oh really? I missed that one. Okay. Okay, this is getting messy. Molten Core coming in for Stormstout. But Aztecopy's just going straight in the core.
They need to stop this. They need to kill Aztecopy. Now he actually just blinks out. The Punisher is still waving onto the Molten Core, and the Keep, I believe, is still alive under it.
It is, so, and still on 2/3
actually, and Team Solid also taking a huge amount. Sardonic is in a lot of trouble. We will go down here as well.
Wow.
And that will not be game.
No.
Stormstout Brewery manages to hold this.
Mental. The mid keep will go down to the minions. Wow, just wow.
This is the highest quality of Fiesta we're seeing right now.
It is a high quality Fiesta indeed. We do have no mouth for Team Solid. I'd like to see Stormstout making some aggressive type plays here, forcing a fight.
They're looking to establish pressure on the top lane. The problem is their bottom lane is a massive backdoor threat as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like Team Solid are sharking around for it. They see Stormstout in the bot lane.
Oh no!
Is this gonna be a race?
I mean,
they're going for the camp. They're going for the camp, but Team Solid is back.
Team Solid is going to end this game.
They're back. I don't think they can stop this. They're too late to back. I think Team Solid just won this game.
Yeah, I believe so.
Sanctification goes down for that. Yeah,
the Ring of Frost therefore misses.
That
is going to be game over.
Team Solid.
Wow. Okay, folks, that is game over. That is going to be 2-0 victory for Team Solid there.
2-1.
Sorry, 2-1. You're absolutely right.